time. Fire it up. Fire. Yes. Fire. Come on. Yeah. Oh yeah. Come on. One more. Fire. Fire. Get it up. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There it is, boys.
You know it.
Hi, I'm Rich Sadiv. I'm the owner of the 50's Speed School here in Fairlawn, New Jersey. I am currently 58 years old and still a competitive deadlifter. I do participate in all three power lifts, but my biggest prowess is in the deadlift. I hold age group category records in both the 181 and 198 category, starting at 40 years of age all the way up to 60. My best deadlift at 181 is 661. And my best deadlift at 198 is 694.
Come on, all-time PR in the gym, Rich. Right here. 691. Going to meet. Oh, yeah!
You know, a lot of people will ask me, hey coach, like, what do you do? How do you stay in such great shape? You're coming up on 59, and you're still deadlifting 600, you know, running a 6-minute mile. And for me, it's about the consistency of my day. I get up every morning, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock in the morning, I get up, I have my cup of coffee, I sit with my coffee, I do a review of what happened yesterday, I think about today, and I think about the future. This is every single morning. I time restricted eat. So I find it's much more simpler eating in a window between 10 and 4. They pretty much eat the same 3 meals every single day, about 175 to 200 grams of protein, carbohydrates. I try to keep things simple on the nutritional standpoint, and as far as my day goes, it can be long, but I find it very gratifying if I have some control of it. And the only way I can have control of the day is by getting up really early. Because once I leave my house, I know one thing, that door closes behind me, start losing control of the day as the phone starts to ring and people start to grab at you. I always say this, I always stress this works for me. I'm not saying it's gonna work for you.
Hey, this afternoon we're coming to you from the world famous 50's Speed School in Fairlawn, New Jersey. I'm going to demonstrate one of my favorite exercises, stiff-legged deadlift, off of a 2-inch raised platform. The reason we're doing that is to increase the range of motion. And again, really get the emphasis on the hamstring. I got a 4 or 5 on the bar right now. I'm looking to grab anywhere from 6 to 8 reps. First thing I want to do is I want to get my stance, toes slightly out. And I take a pretty narrow grip when I do my stiff-legged deadlifts, which basically means I'm going to go in between my pinky and my ring finger. On my left hand, my overhand in between my index and my middle finger. And the most important thing is to try to generate as much speed as possible off the floor while keeping your lower back arched and your legs as straight as possible. A couple quick deep breaths, and we're going to have at it. Yeah! We get another one. Come on. One more. Let's go. You know, I see a lot of people doing a lot of exercises. There's only one exercise you'll see God doing it.
You might ask, why the deadlift? A lot of people do ask me that question, how I got involved in the deadlift. I was a very young gym goer, and at the gym I was training out of, the owner came up to me and said, you know what, you'd be a really good deadlifter. I think he was looking at my body type, which is a very short torso and real long legs. And sure enough, before you know it, I was like deadlifting like 405, 455. And pretty much within 6 months, I was already doing 500 pounds. Within my second or third meet, I hit 600 pounds in the deadlift. So I really found a lot of accomplishment in it. You know, it came pretty easy to me actually, and I just kept on pursuing it. And even to this day, at 58, I can still deadlift over 600.
Go time! Go time! Go time! Yeah! That was easy! That was easy!
Look, he's going again.
Go time!
Oh.
Yeah! Yeah!
One of the questions I get asked frequently is, do you still compete? And my answer is this: I will always compete as long as I'm healthy. And the way I stay healthy is I'm a very disciplined person when it comes to training and my eating habits. I'm a time-restricted eater, so I eat in the window between 10 and 4 every day. Almost 100% vegan. The only thing I have that's not considered vegan is I do have cottage cheese every day. Just seems like I can't get away from the cottage cheese. And I train rigorously 5 times a week, a combination now of running and lifting. I do a lot of isokinetic training on the ohms, which is a Dave Schmidt device that we have here in the facility. Really has enhanced my training. It allows me to get a lot of power output, train really hard, and still get the running in. A lot of people talk about like what motivates me. You know, everyone is motivated by something different. I'm a very objective person. I am motivated by results, but believe it or not, I have this weird Joe DiMaggio thing going on. A quick Joe DiMaggio story, one of the world's greatest baseball players in the history. You know, it was towards the end of his career, he grounded out to second, but he ran as fast as he could to first. So after the game, a reporter asked him, "Joe, why'd you run so hard to first?" You know, it was a ground out. He goes, "Yeah, there's probably somebody here in the crowd who's never seen me play before." And I kind of feel that way when I lift. No matter, every time I'm at a meet, especially when it comes to the deadlift, I never ever want to disappoint anyone who has come to see the human crane deadlift. So I feel like there's a certain motivation in always performing to that level that I've achieved in the past. I will be going onto a platform, I will be towing the line for a race, and if I don't get the results that I want, I only have myself to blame. So for me, every time I train, I know it's leading to that day. That day on the platform or at the race, it's a celebration of all the hard work. If you don't put that hard work in, you can't really celebrate. And I know those results, they're forever. I almost look at my deadlift results almost every single day. Sounds crazy, but helps motivate me because I know, hey, they're there. They're there forever. Yeah, sure, you know, I'm not a robot. There are going to be days that I don't want to come and train at 4 o'clock in the morning before I do my sessions. But I know those results will always be there 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. So it does drive me to come in, get the training in, because I know if it's going to be June 11th, which is my next event, July 4th, the next event, those results are there. You can't erase them. And maybe you won't show them to other people, but I'll know what I did, and I'll look back at those and say, why or why not? One of the hardest things to do is lift heavy weights, real heavy weights that is, as you get closer to 60. And one of my biggest advantages are plenty of sleep, my nutrition is really dialed in, and how I train. I mentioned previously isokinetic. It's a really great modality to train and keep yourself powerful without tearing your body up. You know, they say sometimes youth is wasted on the young. I wish I knew what I knew now back then, because I would have probably accomplished a lot more. Hey, when you're in your 20s, you train every day. You train twice a day. The recovery windows are much quicker, as opposed to now, where a lot more time in the recovery room. I have a sauna in my house. I have a full tub in my house. I'm doing hot, cold, got the Normatec pants, doing dry needling, always having somebody work on me. I think I spend more time recovering than I do training right now. When I was in my 20s, my recovery was an extra cup of coffee. Sometimes I have a hard time wrapping my head around this. My first competition was 1984. I remember going to, I believe it was a high school in Sparta with a gym owner who really was one who, let's say, discovered me. He was one who said, hey, you'd really be good at this. And we drove out. I really had no idea what I was getting myself into, but here it is, almost 40 years later, and I'm still at it. I've come to this realization as I'm approaching, like the second, maybe the third, maybe the fourth quarter of my life. Let's say it's the fourth quarter of my life. Let's be realistic. Every day that I can spend training, I feel I pick up one more later on. This should be the most important thing to you, especially as you get closer and closer to the end. If you're a person right now who's in your 50s, maybe even 60, who's contemplating, hey, I need to get myself in better shape, I need to get back into the gym, I don't understand why you don't, to tell you the truth. I do know this, when you're on your deathbed and you're gasping for your last breath of air, you'll always wish for one more. Getting yourself into shape now will allow you a lot more breaths later on.